Yeah, fine.
Excellent. Okay. Okay, so good to start then, Stevie. Okay, great to see you, Stevie. It's been a while, and we should have already caught up at your gig in Glasgow. But with all that's going on, it looks like it might be a long time before we see you again. How the band dealing with it, especially obviously the cancelling the tour originally and the rescheduling for later?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was kicking the nuts, but we're not the only ones. The whole thing kind of happened about a week before we were meant to go on tour, and obviously we're sad couldn't see your good self and everyone else sort of up north. But yeah, we've gone through the sort of grieving process, the grieving stage, and we're just looking to the future now. We're lucky enough that we had an awesome team behind us who managed to reschedule the date so quickly, and yeah, so we're just looking for the future, and got itchy feet, can't wait to get back on tour.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's maybe a bit early, but you must be thinking there's still a bit of a push for September dates. How you feeling about it? Positive or?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. We're taking it day by day, like everyone is. When we wanted to sure that when we announced that the tour was unfortunately having to be postponed, that we had dates to tell people that we were coming back. You know what I mean? We wanted to go in with a sorry about this, but it's an optimistic sorry, if you know what I mean. That was obviously at the end of March, and September seemed a fair way off.
Yeah.
Obviously now it's a bit closer, but we're still optimistic. Obviously, we've got contingency plans. Again, we've got a great team who unlike me, think of everything. Yeah, we've got some contingency plans, but as it stands, we're really hoping to be out in September.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I have no idea what I'll do if I don't get my bad touch fixed this year. I think this would be the first time in 6 years that I wouldn't have caught you. Well, obviously we do have Rambling Man down for you, but we're getting an announcement on Monday. You probably know more than us, but I'm not holding up much hope for that. It must, as you say, wreak total havoc with all your plans. But if you just went right, okay, and passed this on to the others to do the rescheduling and just take care of everything, or are you still heavily involved in that side of it?
Yeah, we are confident on all keep our fingers in the pie. But as you know, us five as a band, let's just say that our expertise lie in possibly the shows and
nothing else.
Not the general organisation, really. The term "piss up in a brewery" comes to mind. But yeah, you and me both. We haven't played since the end of December, which for us, as you know, is a travesty because we just live to be, doing it and out on the road. And I don't feel like me at the minute. I feel really complete. I feel just not amazing, but we're getting by and we're looking forward to when we can go back.
Those poor shirts of yours must all be ironed and sitting in a cupboard somewhere and not getting used. The old flowery shirts.
That's what I mean. I'm not used to just sitting here and waiting to do me laundry. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be out there playing a laundry.
Yeah, we want you out there as well. I mean, you've certainly grabbed a hold of the situation with the isolation sessions. I've loved these, but what was the reactions from the fans? And what's it like actually playing there and then stopping and there's no reaction from anybody apart from maybe a couple of little dots on somebody making a comment? It must be a bit strange.
It was fine. I mean, I started it as a kind of selfish thing at the start, which was kind of a way of me dealing with the whole lockdown thing. Like, everything was falling to shit, and I kind of wanted a way of sort of coping with it, if you know what I mean, just staving off the boredom and just playing a bit of guitar. And I thought I'd do a couple when I realised that I actually was actually really enjoying it, and it was really happy. People have a bit of a giggle at me and a bit of laughter, and so I thought this is good. I'll carry it on. Recently, I just said the last one was just the last one for now. Literally only because I've got other work it needs doing, other Bad Touch work it needs doing. So, and doing one song every day. I know it might not seem a lot, but it's a lot of organisation.
Yeah.
By the time you've recorded, by the time I've got it right from the
start. No, I mean they're great. I mean, so has that been a release for you? Is that you said, yep, okay, this is great. I can get it out of my system as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, anyone who knows anyone in a band or as a musician knows that it's not it dithers the line between a choice and mandatory. Creative people have to be creative, otherwise they don't feel right. They don't fire on all cylinders, and we're kind of like that at the minute. We're not ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, how are the rest of the guys getting on? How are they coping?
Yeah, they're all right. They're all sort of family oriented now. People are married and such, so they're got their homes and then the families and that. I've got my partner Christy, and she's lovely and I love her to bits. But possibly Christy is heavily involved in the band, as you know. She's our merch girl and road manager, and it's just everyone's fine. We're just all coping with it different. I want to do more music. The guys are still playing. We've been doing like these tracks that you've seen. We put up an unreleased track, Before I Die. Did you like that one, by the way?
Yeah, love that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all good. I say, staying optimistic. I didn't actually think I'd cope as well as I have done. I'm actually looking.
Yeah, I mean it's strange. I think you struggle a bit at the start. I mean, obviously I'm fine. I'm still working, but my partner Karina, she's not. So she's not working at the moment, and and she really struggled for the first, 2-3 weeks or so, and then you just slot into it, don't you? You just win it. I mean, as I say, I'm lucky. I've not changed too much. As I say, I'm working. I've got 2 dogs, so I'm out all the time with the dogs as well. But I can get up into the hills. Yeah. Because we've just got the hills right behind us. So, so it's not massive change. The only big change for me is my gigs. I mean, I usually do 2 and 3 a week, and it's just, that's killing me. But as I say, there's quite a lot of us. I mean, we're a close-knit family of people that go to gigs here, and you don't see them from one gig to the next. And I was saying to somebody the other day, you know what? I says, it shows you what it's like, is because it's not just the gigs you're missing, it's the people you're missing as well. You don't realise that that's a huge part of every gig, is just the people that you see that you don't see from time to time, and then you go on. So yeah, it's the people that's getting together, isn't it? It's a struggle, as I say, but yeah, you just can do it.
Well, you know me.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Yeah. It's all right.
I say, you know me. I love chatting to people. I love having a beer with people. That's part of it for me. I used to love going down the pub and having a beer with someone I've never met. I'm a socialite, and you can't be one at the minute. You know what I mean? So it's just
I think there's going to be a lot of hugging when we get this is all over.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But like I say, we as a band we've done the whole beer stuff thing. We quickly came to realise that there's people that have lost a lot more than us.
Definitely.
So you've just got to keep everything in perspective and just use the time wisely.
Yeah. Right, and okay, let's jump into the fact that in a month's time, Kiss the Sky is released, and I've obviously heard it and been through it. Absolutely love it. I think it's a stormer. I mean, it's very Bad Touch. But I did feel there was a bit of a new edge to it. Obviously, a big part of that was I believe was 1, the production, and 2 was the keyboards. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
The keyboards. Now, how do you feel the album turned out?
Oh, we're super chuffed with it, man. I know it's kind of my job to say that, but we really are. Like, it's 110% everything we've ever wanted to be. I said to Nick Bryan, our producer, who we owe great thanks to, because he was kind of the secret, the secret potion who made it all work. you know, I said to him as he just played it as a desk mix. I said, this is how we sound in my head. You know, which is we've never had before. Oh, hello, here comes a dog. So yeah, I mean, it's as a band, we couldn't be happier with it. Yeah, loved it. Bob, our mate Bob Prittimer, was on the keys, and he flew all the way. He flew all the way over from Copenhagen just to be on the album. We called him up on the Sunday, and he was in on the Friday. Hang on, I'm just going to go inside because the dog's having a 5 minutes. Oh, him great.
There's a theme going on here. The last interview I done, it was my dog barking at the door, and I had to let it out and stop it. But Bob, I love Bob. Yeah. Obviously, you know, Bob's goes back a long time for me with King King. You know, I've seen him back in the day. Obviously, Sally Shaw as well. I says absolutely love him in that. He's a bit of a genius as well, Bob. So it was good then working with him. Yeah. Oh, you went dead. Yeah, you there?
Oh, sorry, it came out.
Yeah.
Should be better now.
Oh, that's you. You froze completely there. Yeah, totally frozen.
Have we caught?
We're back. Yep, I think that. Yeah, you're back. You hear me?
I think we're caught up. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Can you hear? So yeah,
yes.
Which was lovely. So we give him the call on the Friday. He tongues on the plane. Can you hear me?
Yeah, just about. You're breaking up a little bit.
Okay, one second. Let me just have a look at the Wi-Fi. Sorry about this, dude.
It's all right. It's okay.
Just.
I would say if I was any good, I would do a song, but you really don't want to hear that.
Oh, hang on. Oh, there you go. Is that better?
Ah, there you go. That's better. Okay. So we just jump back. So you're talking about Bob.
Yeah, so he flew over. I think we gave him the message. We said, look, we really want some keys on this album. You know us, we hadn't organised it, had we? So we were in the studio. And we sent him a message because we knew we love Bob and he's a great friend. And we thought if he's touring in the UK, he might have a day off where he could just nut in and do it. So we sent him an email and he said, no, I'm in Copenhagen. Oh, there goes that. He goes, no, I'll fly over. He flew over just to be on the album. So we owe him huge amount of thanks.
Yeah. So would you use them? Would you use someone on tour?
God. Yeah, money, no option. We'd have Bob in a heartbeat. He's as far as I'm concerned. I'm not you know, I speak from me, you know, on behalf of the band. But he's already in the band in my head. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's a great guy. It's just A, money, and B, space. You know what I
mean? Yeah.
He doesn't exactly have a mini setup, does he? You know what I mean?
No, I know. But he's a great guy. Absolutely great guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump into a story because I read recently that you actually got to sit at Freddie Mercury's piano when you were recording. What thoughts were going through your head when you were on the seat?
Firstly, I can't play piano. Secondly, it was all the sort of humps and bumps and knocks out of it. I was like, this piano definitely hasn't just been used for playing piano, if you know what I mean. It was great, man. It was awe-inspiring. Literally, it was weird, man. Just I'm not a spiritual bloke, but there was definitely some kind of like gravitas around it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I had a similar. I actually went to see a band do a recording in Abbey Road, and the the girl that was doing it was a live recording, so we were doing like they were just in our audience in while they were in the booths in it, and she actually done one of the songs on John Lennon's, the one he done Imagine on, and that was like an absolute dream for her. So yeah, it was very, very spooky. You know, it's amazing how you can walk through those places and just feel something.
Yeah.
So right, you're getting old hands at this recording, Malarkey. You've been doing it for a bit of time now. Is it getting easier? And how does recording feel now compared to the first time you walked through the doors?
The short answer is no. I get a bit of the red light fever. I'm not very good with recording. I like the live situation where I can have a. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's alive for you. Yeah.
I like the live thing, so I can have a couple of beers and chill out and do the gig. And what I do is whatever I've done. You know what I mean? It's done and dusted. Whereas with recording, you gotta get it right, and it's recorded forever, and there's just a lot of pressure. You know what I mean? You know, because obviously we all care about it. I just suffer with that a bit. But Nick was brilliant to record there. He, you know, just kept everything. It was the perfect balance of your mate and also telling you when you're shit. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what your mates
do. Yeah. Well, but you know, you need a bit of that when you're in the studio, because like you just think, oh, that'll do, and you're like, no, that won't do. You know.
Yeah, that's good. You've got to have someone there. As I say, but is it totally different, or do you just still feel the same as you did before when you first went in, or were you a bit awe-inspired then, or now you're a bit bored with it and go, no,
No. Rockfield to do Rockfield was absolutely bonkers. Like, you know, I didn't possibly get, the gravity of the situation when I went there. I just thought, it's another studio. But like second day into my vocals, 2 coaches of Japanese tourists turned up just to be at the studio. They'd come all the way from Japan to be where Queen recorded, you know, and then it kind of sunk in. Then, you know what I mean? Like, hang on, I am actually somewhere special, you know. But yeah, I mean, the only difference is we're possibly more, for lack of a better word, desperate now, because like this is you know, we're not messing around anymore. This is album number 4. We want to make our stamp, you know. So yeah, I felt a bit more, not tense. Tense is the wrong word. But I loved the tracks and I trusted the producer, and it was just, it was a great experience. It was the first album that I can genuinely say, hand on heart, I enjoyed recording. You know what I mean? It was just a great atmosphere, you know.
Excellent. Right, you must be actually getting places now, because you've actually got coming out in a white vinyl.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for coloured vinyl, so mine's is already ordered. But how does it feel to you? I know it's probably slightly different to me, because that vinyl was my thing back in the day. You know, you're a bit younger. But how does it feel to actually see something on that vinyl?
Oh, mate, it's amazing. I remember when we got our Truth Be Told vinyls.
Yeah.
Like the first album we actually put out on vinyl. I was taken aback, you know, because like, it's one of those things. People can't take that away from you. You've got that forever. You know what I mean? That's you on that disc, you know, pressed into this magic bit of plastic that makes sound, you know. And it still gets me giddy today. You know, I'm never going to be, you know, a Martin Luther King or a Mahatma Gandhi, but no one can take away the music that me and my mates have made, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of it. I'm not afraid to say, you know.
No, sure you should be, as I say. But I mean, I can't imagine it, but it must just be something else, you know, just having that vinyl. Because as I say, that was me since I was, I don't know, what, 11, 12 when I started buying it. And I've still got them all. Still got all my vinyls, you know. And it was just something else to have that in your hand in those days. And like, obviously CDs come along, and now if I look at a CD, it just gets thrown in the corner, because one, I can't bloody read it, because it's not big.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like the old liner notes you get in gatefold sleeves.
Yeah.
This is what I love. But now I just can't see a CD, so I'm like, I just buy everything in vinyl there. I sod that.
This is the thing. I love vinyl. You know, I love the sound of vinyl, and I think obviously vinyl's sort of coming back a little bit.
Right.
And I was talking to my dad about it, and he hit the nail on the head with it. It's the fact that when he was buying music as a teenager, he had to save his pennies up, get on the bus to go to the record store, find the vinyl, carry it back on the bus, read it. You physically had to make space for this thing in your life, you know, like as a physical thing, you had to make space for it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can just download things
Yeah.
and then delete them when you don't want them. There's no commitment to it anymore. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have that. So the vinyl thing does hark back to when you actually, like, say, physically you had to have not even like a little bit of space. You had to have a lot of space if you want to collect vinyl, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that was always back in the day. That was always the first thing you went to. If you got a new friend or you went to somebody else's house, bang straight into their vinyl. Let's see what they've got, you know. And you would put up collections. It just was the thing then, you know. It's just what you did. I mean, I used to work when I was 13 and 14. I used to work all week after school, just so as to get money. And then so my Saturday was a case of I went up to Glasgow straight away, first train up to Glasgow. I went to the Glasgow Apollo because you would go and see what tickets you wanted to buy for what gigs. Then you go around, you do all of the, record stores, and then head back. And some of them I wouldn't be seeing until Sunday. If you bought one that you loved, you wouldn't see it Sunday. And the one thing I do love about vinyl is that you played every song because you couldn't.
That's what I was about to say.
You can't get bothered asking up and then skipping it if you didn't like one. Yeah. So you listen to everything. Whereas now, yeah, you know, people just go jump, fast forward, like that one.
Brilliant nights. Yeah, I've had brilliant nights around my mate's house where they've got a vinyl player and you'll put an album on and you'll just sit there and have too many beers and you'll just listen to the whole thing. And it's just how music is meant to be listened to. You know? I always, you know, I think I'm not the first one to draw this metaphor, but it's like you wouldn't read your favourite chapter out of a book, would you? You know, you'd read the whole book. And that's the way we've made an album to be listened to an album. You know what I mean? Exactly.
I mean, that's it. Because you always sit down when you're vinyl and you think, well, this is how the band wanted you to hear it. This is how it was done. They chose the track list and they chose the way everything went. So you sit down and you bloody well listen to it. You know, nowadays.
I remember. Go on. Sorry.
It's all right. No, you go. What you saying?
I was saying. I remember being around my mate's house one time, and we were doing one of these nights where we put vinyl on and drink too much. Yeah. And I was reading. I think it was Rush. I can't remember what album. But listened to a bit of Rush, and I loved it. And I thought this was a brilliant idea, and I wanted to take this idea and use it within Bad Touch. I don't think I ever told the guys, but it's a brilliant idea. They had inside the album sleeve, they had a track by track synopsis that they had written as a band about each track, and it was like stuff like a heartfelt romp through. You know what I mean? Like, it was hilarious. Like a serious, crystal clear rock and roll ballad about the. I just thought it was really funny to have like these aren't reviews by people. This is the band, right?
It'd be even better if the band then wrote that when they were drunk. And you just could come up with any old nonsense.
That's what I mean. That they'd actually put this in their album. I thought it was hilarious.
Well, I'm sure it wouldn't have been drink. It would have been something else. Rush would have been on. Yeah. Now, just get back. I mean, you guys are now classed as the granddaddies of the new wave of classic rock. Yeah.
I'm not even 30 yet, mate.
I know, but it's mad. I mean, you obviously have. You've been around for that long, and you've obviously been there at the forefront of that. I mean, it must be a compliment to you. But from the amazing crop of young bands that's out there, what ones do you listen to?
Tough question, really. I listen to sort of lots of playlists on Spotify. Like, so I don't necessarily pick bands and kind of search for them. I listen to the sort of playlist, and if there's a band I like, I sort of go and have a look at them, if you know what I mean. I listened to a band which I thought, I hadn't heard before, and they were called Cry of Love, and I realised that they were about in the early 90s. You know, they come up. You know what I mean? I've got no kind of sense of when bands are from, because we're so good now at emulating an era or a sound that you wanted. You know, that you literally can sound like you're from 1977 if you want to. You know. But yeah, me and Six were listening to a band called Maker the other day from Kent, and they are just like, they've toured with Magpie Salute, I read in their bio, and they are just cut from the cloth of the Black Crows, and they're really cool. If you want to listen to them, they're called Maker. Another band I'm big into at the minute is a band called Sister Sparrow and the Dirty Birds. They're amazing. She's got a beautiful soul voice, American band. Who else have we been listening to? Robert John and the Wreck, love them at the minute. Yeah, they've come on the radar. Saw them at Ramblin' last year. Brilliant band. Loads of stuff all the time. My Spotify's on, you know. Yeah. Without coming out of this and going in my recent search history, I can't tell.
But that's the thing. That's the amazing thing. There is so much out there now. Yeah. It's just fantastic. I mean, I think, because I talk about, I mean, obviously the first time I ever saw yourselves was when you were supporting Electric Boys.
Yeah.
You remember that far back? So that was the first time I seen you. And this is kind of when it was starting to creak into me. And I was like, wait a minute, you know, I come from a day when, back in the 80s, and I used to see a support band, you'd never heard them before, and they were absolutely awful. It was back in the 80s when the hair metal came out, and as long as you had long hair, spandex, and you could do a good video, it didn't matter if you could play, you'd make, you know, that's the way it was then. But I've seen some shit bands, but now, since from there, for the last 6 years, I honestly could not tell you. I think if I had to be honest, I've maybe seen 2 bands that I said were absolute crap, they had no talent, or they just never put any effort in. Nowadays, it just seems the young bands have just been doing it for so long, and they've put so much into it, and they have to do it because it's not the way it was there. You never walked in, looked good, got a record contract, bang, do a video. You know, whereas now you work your arse off, you don't get record contracts, you know, that easily, and so you have to do your shift. And so, so the young bands are just coming through. Just some of them just amaze me. You think, my God, you've been about for what, 2 years, 3 years, and absolutely stunning. I mean, that was the same with you guys, blew me away. Well,
cheers, man. That means a lot. Again, we never cease to get absolutely shocked by the raw talent of people who, you know, who just have it. Like, I remember there's a band down Cornwall way called Etherfield who we played a gig with. Etherfield they're called. It's funny spelling, but and they're teenagers, literally teenagers. The drummer looked, he was about 12, and just absolutely mind-blowingly awesome. Like, and you're like, bloody hell, if they're this good now, when they're our age, they're you know, considered going up and breaking their fingers. You know what I mean?
Well, it was the same way. I mean, I know they get an awful lot of stick, the Greta Van Fleet, you know, and everybody gives them all this crap about Led Zeppelin, whatever. But these boys are so talented, you know. I mean, I've seen them live a couple of times, and they're just stunning live.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
Yeah, they're so tight. You know, they played together for so long, and when they were so young, I don't care anybody who gives them abuse. I say, just go and see them. You'll be blown away.
Well, the thing is, it's not up to who are they to tell them what to be. You know what I mean? Like, they could do whatever they want. That's what being in a band is all about. You know. And also, the other thing is that bands, very rarely do the band decide what they sound like. Yeah. You know what I mean? We as a band, like we got stuck in the Southern rock thing before the new wave of classic rock thing came about. And that was fine. We loved like Skinhead and Black Stone Cherry and Blackberry Smoke, all these bands, and you know, and Black Rose, all these Southern rock bands. But we didn't decide to sound like that. You just decided to reference us to it, if you know what I mean. So it's one of those things. You know, the band quite often doesn't actually, you know, unless they're going to say, right, we're going to be a Lynyrd Skynyrd tribute band. We just make the music that we want to make. You know.
Yeah, that kind of takes me back to the 80s again. I say the bands decided we're going to be a hair metal band because we're going to make it. You know, it's totally different now, you know, where bands, as I say, you just come out and you give them a sound. As I say, I don't understand why bands get so much grief, you know, about why, whatever. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care whether you like them or you don't like them. They're putting a message out there, and the thing about going to the Greta Van Fleet gig was there was youngsters there, a lot of youngsters. You know, and you'll know, you look out at an audience all the time, and you must say most of the guys and women are the same age as me. You know, and if we don't do anything, you don't have any younger ones in there, we're going to all die out. There's not going to be headliners.
Well,
watching it.
This is it. We've been, you know, we love all the Bad Touch family. We call them. We love every single one of you. We genuinely do. But we do come across these bands, like you say, like Greta Van Fleet and Blackstone Cherry and Blackberry Smoke, and you think these are you know, Greta Van Fleet excluded, older blokes, and they've got audiences of 18 to, or you know, 14 to 28-year-olds, you know, and it's a bit of black magic there. I don't quite understand how they've done it. But yeah, I like to feel that. I feel like obviously we do have a demographic, of you say the shall we say your generation.
Yeah, don't touch your numbers. Just go with the generation.
Yeah, but we do have a smattering of younglings, and you know, they every time we tour, they seem to bring mates, which is good.
Yeah,
so
that's where it come from.
Yeah, so we're completely anyone who, you know, takes time out of their day and money out of their wallet to come see us is a friend, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, exactly. Right, it's amazing to think that you've now been at this for 11 years. Can you remember how you felt starting out? And are you still learning about the business right to this day?
Oh man, yeah, like it's completely shifting, and you know, just it changes all the time. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to understand it. You know, it's absolutely bonkers. To answer, yeah, I still feel the same. I've obviously changed a little bit. You know, I've grown up a little bit. I'm not quite. I like to think I'm not such an arsehole anymore. But yeah, you know, I'm still learning every day. I think we're all still learning every day. Obviously, this year's sort of hit us a bit, but we're still learning.
In those 11 years, what's the biggest lesson you've learned? And have you got one piece of advice for any youngsters coming out or any new bands, what to do or what not to do?
Well, I'll tell you this because this was a thing in the early days. We were playing at a venue which sadly is no longer with us. It was one of those venues that was, you know, don't lean on the wall because you'll stick to it kind of thing. One of the good ones. And they, you know, these venues that used to pay us when we were awful, but we do a 2.5-hour set or something, and they'd give us 150 quid. You know, sadly these venues are shutting. But anyway, that's not the point. I remember I played this show and I was swanning around like some kind of cross between Jack Sparrow and whoever, Vince Neil, you know, but Neil, all my eyeliner on and me, you know, stuff. And I was just being a bit of a tit really. And my dad sort of collared me, grabbed me by the scruff of the neck, and he said, "Oi," he said, "you could start acting like a rock star when you fucking are one." He said. So I think probably that stuck with me to this day, and that from that day I just became hopefully the bloke, you know, the kind of humble bloke who's not bigger than anyone. And I say just so that'd be my one bit of advice to any aspiring person. You don't get anywhere being an eager arsehole.
Yeah.
Because you know, up and most of you don't make it, but if you do make it, you meet the same people on the way down. So.
Exactly. Okay, I'm not going to keep you much longer, but I want to finish with a little bit of a dream for yourself, maybe. If you are given a phone book with every single person who's ever recorded music, and you're told you have one call, and the person you call has to say yes.
Right.
Who do you call, and what do you ask them?
Oh, hang on. There's got to be a good one in here somewhere. The person has to say yes. Oh man. And I was going to say it's going to have to be something like you know, there's an obvious one, which is like, can we go on tour with you? and will you pay us to do so?
That's the main way I get money in.
Yeah, getting on tour, maybe not the hard. Maybe I should have gone with the pay us first. I don't know, man. I mean, you know all the people that we adore, like Blackstone Cherry, Blackberry Smoke, Free, Bad Company, like so many bands that we'd love to tour with. So you know, I'd love to actually chat with Paul Rodgers. You know what I mean? He's one of my biggest vocal influences. So me personally, I'd like to just say, chat, Paul, can we go have a beer? I want to hear about how you wrote All Right Now and all the songs. You know?
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
I can't think of anything really truly original. I wanted to come up with something funny, but I can't think of
No. Well, that's it. As I say, I mean, I was just thinking if you were, you know, it was going to be a duet or something like that, you know, would you pick?
Right.
But as I say, whatever. Yeah, great.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah. I mean, the trouble is, anybody who I idolise, like you say, Plant or Rodgers or Chris Robinson from the Black Crowes, or you know, any of these people, I'd be absolutely utterly terrified to sing with. So I'd probably just go with, can we have a chat and just talk about music? Yeah.
I don't think I would go with Mr. Robinson for the chat. He can be a bit funny.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I mean, I love Black Crowes. Absolutely love them. Follow them all round the place to go and see them. But I lost a bit of respect one night when he actually jumped into the crowd to punch a woman in Glasgow.
Oh, really? Bloody hell.
He made a big mistake. Yeah, he got out a bit worse for wear. The rest of the band just walked off and left him. Went, what an arse. And then he got a doing when he turned around and hit this lassie.
No, yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, but as I say, you come from that, and then I've seen them turn round at a show and just rip up the set list and just jam for like 2.5 hours, and it was just incredible. It was just something amazing to watch. Yeah, and that would be something I was looking forward to this year as well. Would have been that tour. That would have been brilliant. We'll see if that one goes ahead. And
yeah.
Other ones, I mean, Skinner, I suppose for you would have been a good one to go and see with Ramblin' Man as well.
Oh,
I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, when we found out we were playing Ramblin', not only on the main stage, but with, you know, and Skinner were going to be there. You know, wet your pants moment. You know what I mean? There you go.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm going to finish up on that, Stevie, and let you go. Absolutely pleasure to speak to you again. One, hopefully we will get to see you Ramblin' Man. 2, if not, it will be September. And if not, then whenever. As I say, maybe I'll just.
There'll always be a show.
Come down inside the garden just so I say I did see you during the year.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. No, there'll always be another show. So you know, we're optimistic. We're honing our craft, and we'll be back and badder than ever. So
yeah, excellent. Just before you go, I mean, are you taking the time just now to write as well, or is there more? Have you done anything?
I mean, not so much really at the minute. We've got literally got all of our in the Kiss the Sky basket. You know what I mean? So my writing has gone sort of a bit down the pan at the minute because I'm doing a lot of stuff like this.
Yeah.
And you know, and sort of the isolation sessions I've been doing and stuff and other projects. But you know, I still strumming my guitar and some epiphany might happen. You know.
Excellent.
I can't speak for the rest of the guys. Everyone writes in the band, so they might come back with some bangers.
Yeah. Cool. Well, anyway, thanks very much for your time again. As I say, I wish all the best for Kiss the Sky. Can't wait to get my vinyl and I'll be playing it and thinking of you. But brilliant. Thanks very much, Stevie.
Cheers. It's always lovely to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you. Just pause it. Thank you.